Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sunesha, and today we are doing another show with Swine Radio. I hope you will enjoy it, and I must introduce Mr. Swine. Also, he will say something important, and we can just imagine what he wants us to say. And today's Swine Radio will be about games that I want to play in the future. So this will be some hypocritical because I was just ranting about hype, and I will hype myself. And I think this is a very fitting time to do it because 2K and Fixaris just announced XCOM 2, and I was so excited yesterday, but today I'm not so excited any longer because I don't really care if I play it right away or not. I was almost breaking my trend of not pre-ordering a game for 10 years, and I falsely stated on Twitter, this will be the first game I will pre-order in 10 years, and I lied. I changed my mind once again. I'm kind of like a girl that can't decide if we want to have a relationship or not. I just want to be friends, with the games. I just want to be friends. I don't want to commit to you, and I don't want to have a commitment to you, so I just want to be the games developers are in the friend zone for me. I don't trust them, and I really don't want a near relationship to them because I don't really trust them. I know they will cheat me, they will do things that other things, and once again I have arrived to this part of the subject where different game companies being treated differently, and Rockstar is, for example, my pet project when it comes to those game companies that people love everything. Rockstar is like the girl that is very beautiful, and you really can't understand why you have a relationship with her. And she do those weird sex ideas that you don't really like, but you do it because you don't want to lose them. And that's Rockstar, because they can get away with anything. They can take a dump on you and you will say, oh, shiny, it smells good, and so on. And I think that's the thing. I don't really have a relationship with this company, so I don't really feel obligated to support all their ideas, so that's why I'm not pre-ordering in the games. And I'm very excited about XCOM 2, of course, because XCOM, the current version of XCOM has been one of my most played games in this generation, and the last generation for being correct, and I still play it, and I will still play it even after the 2 comes out, because I really enjoy the game. It's a challenging game, I really like it, and I'm very excited about XCOM 2. And I saw some screenshots, but actually, I once again, I don't have a relationship with them, so why should I care so much? Okay, I saw a new alien. I think it's a sectoid that have more human traits right now. So, but that's all I can analyze from it. It doesn't make me. They are not succeeded for me to place a pre-order yet, at least. I don't really. I think I will actually just wait it out as I usually do, even that it's one of my favorite games, because it's not like a marriage. You don't have to stick with the companies when they go down and up. After all, it is not a relationship, and some people actually, it's interesting from a psychological part of this, because some people really bond with their game companies, and it's like a marriage. They will follow them through bad times and defend, and they will defend their spouse, the game company, when they do stupid stuff and so on, just because they are really married to that game company. So that's interesting, because that people can get such a strong attachment to the game company. I think I'm too analytical to just see things. I just tend to quantify things and not think about companies like human beings. I think they are more organizations, and organization is as good as the weakest part of it. So I guess I see the weakest part, even that I like the whole of the organization. If it's speaking of a game company like the XCOM guys, I really like Fixaris. They have bring me my favorite strategy games are from Fixaris, but it's not like I'm married to them, so I would not forgive them to cheat me or do stupid stuff. I won't forgive them. They have a good track record, but that doesn't matter, because actually I'm not married to them. They are like some guy I meet on the street and I say hi to. It's not like I really care about his life, and it's not like I'm gonna defend him if the cop pick up him on the street and say that's a good guy, so treat him well. I don't think he did it, but game companies do stuff all the time that's really, really wrong, and some people forgive them. I'm not that kind of person, because I'm not married to the game company, so I'm not really hyped. And okay, I have once again branched it out to this discussion how different game companies have different values in most people's lives. So let me continue with a list. I actually put up my wish list here, and it's mostly actually games that I have not played yet. It's not like this game that has not been released yet, so it's a kind of mix. And another game of course I'm looking forward for is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's the real name, Mankind Divided, and I really look forward for that, because I think they did a great job in Deus Ex Human Revolution. It was actually one of those games that had a very interesting AI that was actually quite advanced. I think not most people understood it or saw it, but the AI was actually very not random at all. Actually, you can really manipulate that AI, and I really liked that, because this was a very easy system to I think also because in the game you can get these arguments and they kind of decode how the AI works in the game, and you can really see how it works, and it was the level of detail in that AI. They really, for example, a guard could react even that he didn't see me open a door. He would react to that the door is open now, and that's quite a big thing in AI to notice those kind of things. So he would go over and investigate, not very hostile, but he would become curious and just walk over to the door, and that's actually quite cool. But it didn't work on all doors, but I see it once, and I hope, I really hope that they keep the AI, not just keep it and build on the AI in Mankind Divided. Unfortunately, I know it won't happen. I don't think game companies are really they have moved forward in all areas, but the AI actually sometimes they even move back and make the AI more stupid, and that's one of the things I really annoys me, because I play mostly single player games, so a good AI is what make a game replayable. And to go back again in my subject, and XCOM was excellent in that way, and that's why it was one of the games I played the most, even though the graphic is not the best, but the AI was very interesting. It was very challenging and sometimes hard to predict, but it was not stupid, and you can really see actually analyze behavior of your enemy, and you can use psychological warfare. For example, in XCOM, if you meet a group of 3 agents and you start shooting them, if you kill 2 of their friends, the last one will actually retreat. He won't attack you. He will actually just try to run away from you as far as possible. Sometimes they flip out even more. They actually just leave the map almost. They can be annoying sometimes because one of these aliens can sometimes really take a big journey. They can hide in the corner of the map because they don't want to fight any longer, and that's the small levels of AI I've never seen in a game before, because the AI behave like a real intelligence. After all, if you see two of your friends die and you are the last one, you will probably run like hell, and in XCOM they do that. And that's fantastic, and I hope probably in XCOM 2 they will not just upgrade graphics and map, and I really hope they will put more work into the AI, because it was fantastic in the last game, and if they can top that, just make it a notch better, but just a notch better, that will actually make that game even more excellent. And I think that was one of XCOM's biggest strengths. Replay value was endless because the AI was very fun to play against. And most game, that's not the truth. The AI is repetitive, boring, and so on. And I really think they succeeded in XCOM games to actually create an AI that is interesting. After all, there are people still playing this game, even that it came out 2012. And many friendly gamers, for example, on YouTube still play this game, and I think that's actually, and it's still popular. So that actually shows how much AI can do. The game is 3 years into its lifetime, and people still play it, a strategy game, and that's very interesting. And that shows the strength of doing a game very well. And on the PC front, they also released in mods, so people have modded the games, but people are still playing it, and I've been playing it still, and that's excellent. And that can you see what the AI can do for you. Okay, let's see if I can find another game on my list to discuss, and actually one of those games. Now I'm not talking directly into the mic, so I will sound a little bit differently, but don't worry, I will soon talk normally into the mic so you don't get confused. Actually, one of these games, I'm not just hyped about unreleased game, but I saw this game named Space Canyon. It's actually a stealth puzzler. I don't have the time to play it right now, but it's also really fun because you are a chameleon and you can change your color, and I think the game is about... I'm just read a review of this. I have not seen any game footage or something. I'm not really interested to that because I want to experience this myself, but you are a chameleon and it's a small game, and you use colors for camouflage to stealth around, and it's a stealth puzzler, and that's a game I'm very interested in. I will probably do it on my channel in 2 months or something, after all my nephew is coming, and I'm trying to put an end to my current series before he arrives, and so this Swine Radio, for example, is recorded just because I have some extra time, because I'm also gonna today, let's speak about today. I can say what the fuck I want, it's my fucking radio show, but for example today I have extra time because I did my last XCOM episodes yesterday, and I should have done them today, but I did them yesterday, so I did some extra work. So I had some extra time because I want to do a hitman behind the camera making of a walkthrough, and I'm gonna try to show my viewers how I work to figure out a good walkthrough video, and so that's why I did it yesterday. So I just actually have to record today. I just have a hitman walkthrough to do today, and I'm making off, and so I thought I had time for Swine Radio right now, and and it was yesterday XCOM 2 was announced, so I thought this was a great moment to speak about hype, because then I can be honest about it. And it happened yesterday, and it was like somebody, I had sex or something. I was very pleased with myself to see that the XCOM was released. But today I have, like, it's like one night stand, and I feel a little bit dirty today because I really was really hyped about something. So it was really not really love yet. So that's a typical one night stand, You're very hyped when you are doing that, but when you wake up the next morning, you start to regret it. So and that's my feelings exactly. So let's go on my list. I have a couple of games here. Actually, one of those games I really want to do, and I look forward to doing after my nephew is gone, is I'm really thinking about, I want to do a really completionist walkthrough of a game, and I decided to do it on Metro games, and I will start on Metro 2033, and I really want to do a really in-depth nerd edition, discover all the secrets, show everything in the game, like this idiot detailed interview where I read every genre, every piece of text I found. Everything is gonna be analyzed, and I want to do that. For example, just to see if I can pull it off, and I look forward for that because I thought about it a lot, and Metro 2033 has a very in-depth, especially in the Redux version. They have a lot of secrets, and they have diary notes and so on, and I really want to go in depth in that. So it will probably be the longest let's play ever on a Metro game. But after reading the books and playing the games, I really think most people just rush through that game and doesn't see what is hidden behind all this great game. It has a very rich lore behind it. It's almost like Dark Souls. The lore is hidden in plain sight. So if you just take your time to read and discover things, you can find a lot of things in the game. And I really want to do that kind of playthrough, a nerd edition, and not so people really can see that sometimes a game hides things in the plain sight. I have figured sometimes of doing Dark Souls on my channel, but I think it has been done and has been done so many times. I don't think I can add something to that game, but I think I can do a nerd edition of the Metro games because nobody has done it. I really not. I don't know. Some people have done some walkthroughs with everything, but I want to do a walkthrough where we discuss the game and we immerse yourself with the game, and we're gonna be so nerdy that if you are not interested, you will just say, this is the kind of shit I don't want to see. I would just want to know how to finish the game. No, I want to immerse myself, and that's one of the things I can feel hyped about myself. I'm more about feeling hyped about experiences, and that's an experience I really feel hyped about because that's something new. I really want to immerse myself into that game, and that I feel hyped about. Another game that also are on my list. Okay, let's a small break for water before my voice breaks up. I will keep the water sound in because it's just so you can hear what I'm doing. And another game I'm very excited about is already a game I have completed, and I completed all the achievements inside, but they are gonna release Dishonored Definitive Edition, and I really look forward to that because it was one of my favorite games, and Dishonored is a stealth game with some magic, and the cool thing, you can turn into a rat or a fish and so on. So it's a very cool game because it's not your usual way. You can do so much fun stuff in that game, and I really look forward to experience that game once more. I have the only game I have played a lot after I actually taken all the achievements in the game is XCOM. I still play it, even that I took all the achievements, but another I will look forward to another experience with Dishonored Definitive Edition, just picking up all our achievements and experience that game once more. That's maybe I will put it on my channel, maybe not. I think I probably want to do it. It depends on what I'm doing right now. Right now, in the future, is the Metro game and Steph Campion, and I also feel hyped about Tropico. I really want to play the Waterborne expansion, but it's in my back burner. One of the reasons it's in my back burner is that they are asking 20 euros for a DLC, and right now it feels a little bit silly because I picked up the game for 30 euro, so it's like almost the full price of the game when I bought it, so I'm not so hyped about it because it costs a lot of money. If I get the extra flow of money, I will probably buy the expansion, but in that case I felt it was a little bit too expensive for expansion, but I really want to do it. But one of those things I really want to do on my channel is I want to do a more role-playing experience. I want to role-play Tropico, become a mental dictator, and that's I feel hyped about. I want to play the game like a crazy person, like a real Banana Republic dictator that does things very weird and do stuff stupid things of they follow every whim, and I want to do that and see how people will react to it, because it will be super weird to do it. I really want to do it really weird, but I want to be in the weird mood, so every episode is made with extra much craziness in that I can feel hyped. I really want to do that, and after all, I'm more interesting how people will experience the Let's Play, because it won't be like any Let's Play, and I want real crazy, not too much, oh look at me, I'm cool because I'm crazy. I want it to be confusing, and I want it to be weird. I don't want it to be real weird, not acting weird. So I actually had thought about doing this playthrough with actually writing a real backstory for my dictator, so he makes sense, so you can understand his motivation as a real role-playing experience with Tropico. So you actually have a real backstory, so you can understand the craziness, and not just because look at me, I'm very crazy, I killed a person in the game. Not like that crazy. I want real crazy, like understandable crazy. Even crazy persons are not that random. After all, most crazy persons they have their delusions and so on. And I want that will be interesting if I can get that to work. And that's the idea I like. And this is what I feel hyped about. Since starting this YouTube channel, for me is I have started to play the game differently. It's more about what I actually can create, how I can create YouTube content that are nice. For example, my walkthroughs, I will probably lay back on those because actually I missed the playfulness of just playing the game how I want it, and not to show how you beat the game, but I want to try things out and so on. It's much more fun for me to do that kind of content. Walkthrough content can work if a good example are my Hitman walkthroughs. The earlier Hitman games had a lot more freedom of choice and didn't box you in as much as the new game, Hitman Absolution. And the walkthrough with 20 missions, it's actually starting to feel very grindy, because I have to find a way so people can reproduce themselves when they follow my walkthrough. They can follow my walkthrough because I can do it 10 times in a row without a mistake, and they can do it also. But that actually is like a one-size-fits-all solution of playing, and it's really actually not how I like to play games. I really like to experience games and try out things, and not find the most optimal way to beat stuff. Dark Souls was a good example where I handicapped myself just for my own enjoyment. For example, I could run around naked with a club or something, or I could have beat a boss with just bad magic and so on. And walkthroughs is not so fun to do. It was fun in the earlier Hitman games because I could mix in the walkthrough to do fun stuff at the same time, but in this Fjord's difficulty walkthrough is actually been more about just beating the game, not experiencing the game. It's just beating it, and I would like to experience things, even that I played the game many times. So let's see if I add some more on my list. My list is very short, and actually one game I look forward for is just because my fellow YouTube friends are so hyped about it. It's Elite Dangerous, a game where you are in space and fly your own spaceship and do spaceshipy stuff, and that's a little bit excited about. I'm a typical PC master race. They get all the cool games first sometimes. And actually one of the games I have, actually I'm a little bit interested about the Mad Max game. It seems cool. I saw some gameplay from it, and I really hope it pans out, but that's one of my wait and see games. It's not on my buy list. So I will wait and see what's happening. And of course my Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is also another game I really want, but I'm starting to lose interest in that game because I'm feeling the marketing is pushing that game very hard, and they're trying to it's almost I'm not really impressed with the game so far, but I want to play it because it's a good stealth game, and that's why I'm gonna play it. And one of those other games I'm waiting for, Shadow of Mordor, just came out with a Game of the Year edition, and I'm very interested in that game. It has a very interesting system. They have a nemesis system, so you meet the same mini-bosses, and those mini-bosses follow their own way through the game, and chronologically they become stronger, and so on, get promotions, and you meet them again, and that's very cool idea. And there's a new addition to AI. It's very hyped addition to a game, and people saying it was the true next generation AI. And yes, it's true, it's a new system, but it's just a new system. It's not actually, it's more about it's more a dynamic way to tell a story. It's like you meet the same mini bosses over sometimes again, and it's just a way to do a dynamic story. It's a very good idea, but on its own, it's not so impressive if you are isolated out from the game. It's not very impressive work, but it's a cool idea. I really like it, and that's one way you can make a game more interesting, by making the NPC in the games actually to have their own story, and a story that actually become greater the longer they play your game, and after all it's dynamic, so that's very cool. But actually it's not very impressive if you look for it. It's impressive because the AI development is moving so slowly, so every new idea is impressive because it's not very much new things they show us. So that's what's a new thing, so I understand why people get hyped about it, because it's a new, but it's kind of silly because we really haven't taken big steps in AI and computer games. The graphics always get better every year, but the AI is really not working. I'm still looking forward to the day where AI is as important as graphics in game. And I think games are so much about presentation today. So a game can probably sell a lot more if it has very impressive graphics in the early on in the gameplay videos. People see that and they see a change, but often with these gameplay trailers, you actually doesn't see the in-depth game. You just often see a small session with combat or a small session where you're driving a car or something, but it really doesn't really show off any depth in the game, and it's hard to show that off, fastly. But and then presentation becomes so important because it's all about getting people to pre-order the games out of that small presentation, and then the graphic is of course one of those keys to grab new viewers and fans so they can get hyped about it. But AI is like, okay, let's show off this complex AI. It's very hard to do a good video of that or a good promotional material on that. So I think when people start caring more about AI and so on, we will see more like that. Like Shadow of Mordor, it was great of them to actually introduce a new way of doing NPCs and AI. That's excellent work by them because it's so rare, and I hope it wasn't so rare. And the game won a lot of it, but I'm afraid if they do a sequel of Shadow of Mordor, the only thing they're gonna do is update the graphics and small additions to the gameplay and just stick a number 2 on it, because that's the easy way out. It would be interesting if Shadow of Mordor a very successful game right now, and if they actually build on the AI even more. But sorry, I'm cynical. I know they're just gonna stick a number 2 on it with new graphics and very small additions to the game AI-wise, because they have already done that work, and it's easier to do a sequel and get extra money. It's all about money. And actually, I come to this part. This was gonna be about hype, about games, but I'm just criticizing everything. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Let's actually quit this Swine Radio when I'm ahead, and the Swine will say goodbye. And I will also say goodbye, and I hope you will join me. This was probably one of my Swine Radios that I really didn't prepare for, because I've jumped around from different subject to different games without really a red thread through the whole but I hope you will enjoy this anyway. This was one of the more relaxed Swine Radios, and probably the Swine Radios I'm least proud of, because I didn't really prepare for it. I didn't really think about saying it. I just recorded myself. So I haven't really put much work into this, and hopefully I know you will forgive me for it, because some entertainment has come out of it. And as always, thank you for listening.